Hey guys, Justin Bryant here from selfmadesuccess.com. In this video, I'm going to show you 11 time management tips and tools for getting more done in less time and just being a lot more productive and a lot happier because you're not so stressed out and lacking enough time to just relax, work on your hobbies, spend time with your family, and do what you want to do. So the problem with most people is they think they have to work harder when in fact you really just need to work smarter. And I'm going to show you what I've learned from doing it myself, from being an entrepreneur, from learning the hard way, and from a lot of incredible books that I've read, some of which I will recommend to you. The first thing I recommend you do that really helped me was getting the most important thing done before 11 a.m. You have to learn to prioritize. You have to get the biggest, ugliest, hardest task done that will have the biggest impact on your life, on your work, on your fitness first. Do that first, and it makes the rest of your day look so much easier. There is a certain type of mentality that we have when it comes to the way we look at our day, and you want it to always be trending in a positive way. So we start out our day doing the hardest thing first. We know the rest of our day gets easier and more relaxing and more fun the rest of the day. So we have a positive outlook. If you put the worst stuff off towards the end of the day, you have a negative outlook and it changes the whole mood of the entire day. And many times when you put things off, you don't get them done. So the most important thing must be done before 11 a.m. And the reason being is because around lunchtime, that's when things seem to start coming up. Emergencies, lunch with other coworkers, or having to pick your kid up from school early, or errands that you have to run. Things tend to come up around lunchtime and later in the day, and you want to make sure that you have your most important thing done first, not only for the positive mindset throughout the day, but because you want to be more productive. Ask yourself this question: if there is one thing you can accomplish today that will make today productive, that will make it a success, what is that one thing? And once you know the answer to that question, do that first. A book I got that from was The 4-Hour Work Week, and it really made me a much more productive person in my mind. It's basically a book about life hacking your way to being more productive, being able to travel the world, spend time doing what you want to do, and making more money. So I definitely recommend this book if you're interested in time management, being productive. Another book I recommend is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, who is a personal development expert, and he talks about prioritization. He talks about eating that frog, which is a phrase that basically means get that big, ugly, hard task done first and then prioritize the rest of your day. And then he talks about how to be more productive and stop procrastinating in this book. So those two books alone can teach you an incredible amount of things that will help you along this topic. As far as a tool to use for this, I recommend Google Calendar. It's extremely helpful because you can look at it on any of your devices. It's free, and it's very easy to keep things organized, to get reminded when you need to be reminded about something. We all have our phones on us all the time, so it'll remind us on our phone when something's coming up. It'll allow us to prioritize our day and things like that. So use Google Calendar and prioritize your day, schedule meetings, schedule your life in a way that makes you more productive. Number 2, do everything in bulk. The thing about trying to be productive is you'll notice that when you do something every day that's very repetitive, you tend to waste a lot of hours during the week. This is something I kind of found out the hard way because used to, for instance, if I wanted to publish a YouTube video a day, I would do one video each day. So I would have to every day open my computer, open up YouTube, open up my research, open up my notes, look at analytics, do all this stuff, do a new image, do a presentation, do some editing, things like that each and every day. So then I would close all that stuff out, put all that stuff away, and the next day I'd have to get all that stuff back out. I'd have to reopen everything, and it just wastes so much time. When you have something open, when you have something in front of you, and you know you're going to have to do it multiple times throughout the week, get that entire week's worth of that one task done as if you can in one day. I'll show you an example. So when you do things in bulk, you really free up a lot more time during the day. So the majority of the week, for instance, I am not recording videos. I record all of my YouTube videos to help you guys in the first couple days of the week, because bulk recording has been much faster and much easier and much better for me to be in that recording state of mind, for me to be in that content producing state of mind. And all I do is I just keep the same applications open through that whole day and record, and then I can edit, publish, improve, things like that. When you do it in bulk, you save a lot of time. So for instance, you can see that I schedule some of my videos here. I started doing this very recently, and you'll see down here, I scheduled this one. It says February 17th, published on the 18th. This one right here, February 24th, published on the 24th. February 24th, published on the 25th. February 24th, published on the 26th. When you start bulk doing your work and even things like eating, you can do all kinds of stuff. So you can schedule your videos. You can do another thing you can do is you can schedule your blog post. Let's say you do blog posts. If you're an internet entrepreneur like I am, you can, instead of publishing immediately, as you could see over here, you would edit it and publish it on a different day. You could do it tomorrow on March 2nd, and it would schedule. Okay, so you press OK, and instead of publish now it says schedule. So you can do these things in bulk and schedule them throughout the week. You can do the same thing with email. You can even do the same thing with cooking. Batch Cooking 101, great post here on especially when you eat a lot of the same things or you're trying to stick to a strict diet. It really helps to make your food in bulk and then put them in Tupperware like this, plastic Tupperware, so that you have your portions right and you can just heat them up and you have quality food that you don't have to cook every single night, wash your dishes, put them away, get them back out, cook, wash your dishes, put them away. If you do that over and over and over, it's just not efficient at all. So you want to do things in bulk, and it will make a huge difference. Number 3, use desktop shortcuts. So another thing you can do, create shortcuts. Not only desktop shortcuts, but you can also create shortcuts for hotkeys on your keyboard. So if you're working on the computer, for instance, which a lot of us do, you can create shortcuts on your home page, on your desktop page. There's a great step-by-step process for doing that on Windows here. I'll have a link to this page for you, by the way, so you can read through the whole thing on your own time. But you create shortcuts to the places you go the most. Another thing, you have bookmarks. You can bookmark pages. If I want to bookmark this page, I can bookmark it. I can go up here and press the little star next to the URL of the page, and it'll bookmark it. Then you can have your top bookmarks right there on your browser. Another thing you can do is use something like Auto Hotkey, which allows you to run programs from the click of a button on your keyboard. So you might try Auto Hotkey. It's a great tool for this. It's free, and Lifehacker has a tutorial for how to use this with Windows and with Mac as well. So whatever kind of computer you have, you can use this. and it'll allow you to actually create hotkeys that allow you to run commands, run software, and do things with just the click of a button instead of having to scroll through and find the program and do all that stuff. So that will save you a lot of time as well. Number 4, you can outsource. So another thing, if you don't like doing a task or it's very tedious, it takes a long time to do and has kind of a small impact but still has to be done, those are the types of things you should outsource. So I always recommend using freelancers. Fiverr is a great place to get minor freelance tasks done. They are getting to where they offer bigger and more high-end tasks that might be a few $100s each, but they really started out building their brand on, $5 and $10 and $15 freelancing. So people would do graphic design. If you need a book cover done, you would go here. If you needed somebody to edit an article, you could go here. If you needed somebody to do a voiceover for a video or a transcription for audio, that's the kind of stuff that they would do. So minor stuff especially is great to outsource on Fiverr because it's cheap. Upwork takes it to the next level. I think this is one of the highest quality freelancing sites around. I recommend them all the time. And you can get all kinds of stuff done here, even if you need like a big prototype, or if you need somebody to design a label for a product, if you need somebody to be a virtual assistant and help you out with a lot of stuff, if you need somebody to develop a piece of software for you, all that stuff is covered through Upwork, through freelancers. So you don't actually have to hire employees to do this stuff. So another thing you might do is even get a virtual assistant. And of course, Upwork, like they show here, they offer virtual assistants. Typically, they're not people that would work for you very much, though. It's kind of by the project. If you want somebody to work for you all the time without necessarily being an employee, you can hire an actual virtual assistant firm like Brickwork India, which is recommended in the 4-hour work week. You can hire foreign virtual assistants because they're cheaper, because the cost of living is cheaper in, say, India, in the Philippines than it is in the US or Canada. So you can hire them to take care of a lot of your repetitive, tedious tasks for you. And Brickwork India is just one example of a great company. And you want to use a firm. You don't want to just use a standalone person for this stuff, because if something happens to them, what are you going to do? It's going to hurt your life. It's going to hurt your business. So a firm with many different backup virtual assistants is the way to go. Number 5, use IFTTT. So this is a piece of online software that you can use for free. And what they do is allow you to automate a lot of different things. And they're always coming out with new apps that you can allow for automation. And it stands for if this, then that. So if, it would be something like, if I publish a new YouTube video, then share it on Twitter automatically. So it can save you time with business. It can save you time with chores. As you can see, they have smart vacuums and washers and other appliances on here that you can use with IFTTT to put on a schedule and remind you and do all kinds of different things. So you have appliances that you can automate. You have blinds for your windows. You have blogs that you can do, whether it's WordPress, whether it's Tumblr. You have bookmarking sites that you can automate. You have business tools, calendars, Google Calendars on here. Remember I mentioned them. Clocks, cloud storage, communication, cars. You can even do BMW. If you have a BMW or a Tesla, you can automate some things with this. And all just all kinds of different things that you can automate using IFTTT. And to give you a few examples of some of the ones I use, I have, for instance, if a new public video is uploaded, share it on my LinkedIn profile. If a new blog post is published, create a link post on Tumblr. So I use it mostly for work right now. I'm sure I'll use it more for chores and things later on and appliances, but it really helps me automate social media and promotion of different pieces of content. So IFTTT, definitely a big fan of that software. Number 6, use software. So IFTTT is kind of a software, and it's kind of like a software as a service, or a SaaS as they're also known. It's something you just have an account online. As an actual piece of software, you can have something like Auto IT, which is an offline software that you can download for free and create different programs from, specifically bots and things like that. So you can actually simulate actions like clicking, typing, and things like that on your browser, for instance, or on your computer, and it'll do it automatically. So what you do is you use a little coding, you tell it what to do. As you can see, kind of that box right there, it shows code. And I use it mostly just for, promotion of content and things like that. I'm still experimenting a lot with Auto IT, but there's some great videos of how people use it for games. They use it for business. They use it for all kinds of different things. And it simulates what you do. Like, you go to web pages, you click, pretty much any mouse function is programmable. You can type. All that stuff is covered, and it's like a bot. So you can literally watch it step by step as it goes through the process and does different things automatically for you. All you have to do is click a button to make it start. And you can also set it up to where if you press escape or another button on your keyboard, it'll stop if you see it mess up. So that can automate a lot of things for you. On YouTube, I recommend, say, Heath Haskins. He has a good channel for teaching stuff like that, Auto IT, for instance. How to make a bot with Auto IT is a great video. Auto IT tutorial part 1 from 403 Forbidden 403. So those are a couple of good videos you might look into for creating your first bots. And I'm sure I'll have some videos in the future that will show you step by step what I've learned. Another piece of software I recommend, especially if you're a marketer or if you have your own business, is GetResponse. And there's a lot of email marketing services out there. I've used Aweber, I've used GetResponse, I've used some others, but GetResponse is the one I've consistently stuck with because I like the pricing, I like all the features they give you, and I like just the look and feel of it. And what it does is it allows you, for one thing, to automate your email. So if you want to automatically send emails to new subscribers for your business, if you want to automatically send emails every time you publish a new blog post, you can do that and it'll do it automatically for you. So I recommend GetResponse. It's only like $15 a month to get started with it. And here's a tutorial for RSS to email that I was talking about. If you have any kind of blog, you can take the RSS feed and automatically create new emails to your subscriber list using GetResponse. So that's another thing. If you want to, say, automate social media, if you want to put all your social media messages in one place, you want to automate and schedule social media posts and stuff, you might use something like Hootsuite or even Buffer. I actually have a video on my channel on YouTube that compares the two. They're very similar, but you can use them to automate social media. So it seems like pretty much everybody has at least one social media account, and you can use it for business, you can use it for personal reasons, you can use it for consulting. It's really versatile. There's a lot of great pieces of software out there, and those are just a few great ones that I've used and that I recommend. Number 7, have a to-do list with prioritized tasks. So it's not enough to just have a to-do list because it'll still make you a little too scatterbrained. You have to actually prioritize your to-do list to really get the right things done. That's what I've found. That's what worked for me specifically. That's what's taught in these books like The 4-Hour Work Week and Eat That Frog. And those are two of the best productivity books on Amazon as far as the ratings and the reviews. So, from my experience and from those two books, I can tell you that there's a good chance you're not going to get as much done if you don't prioritize your to-do list. So, one tool that I really recommend to you, if you don't want to just use a journal and just write in a journal or something like that, what you have to do for the week or for the day, or if you have like a whiteboard, I also have a dry erase whiteboard in my office that I use, and I can write down my goals, what I want to do this week, priorities. You can list things that you want to get done, and then say in the Eat That Frog book, he recommends to put an A, B, C, or D next to the task, A being most important, B being next, and then so on. And that helps you keep track of what to do first and just kind of automatically knock each task out. Or you can do something like Todoist. Todoist is a productivity software. You can use it online. You can use it on Windows, Mac, Firefox, Chrome, your iPhone, your Android phone, and it's very versatile. I'll show you what it all includes. It helps you do to-do lists, of course. You can have subtasks. If you want to divide up one task into a bunch of smaller tasks, you can do that. You can have different projects, different ideas that reoccur, and due dates. You can set due dates, which is really nice. And you can set priorities. That's the main thing you need to have. Color-coded priority levels. That's what really is great about this one, is it allows you to color code what needs to be done first and in what order. So Todoist, great software, great tool that you can use for that. And you can start it for free. I also recommend Momentum. Momentum is a Chrome extension that you can get. It's completely free. And here's what it looks like. So instead of opening it, this is just a new tab. There's nothing on here. I'm not on any website. When you open a new tab, what it does is it has something like this. It has some scenery. It has a quote down there at the bottom. It has a to-do list on the bottom right corner. As you can see, you can write things in the to-do list. So let's say I want to record a video. And then it'll pop up there, and then you can check mark it when you're done. So then it's all done. Good one, Justin, you're done. So and then you can put like your main focus for the day right here. It'll have some helpful links and things you can search for in the top left corner, and it'll have the weather in the top right corner, and of course the time in the middle. So it really covers a lot of different things. And it's just really nice. It really calms you down. It helps you kind of see something that's worth looking at and put things in perspective with a really good quote that's inspiring. Like, never let your fear decide your fate. That's a great one. And it can help you be more productive by every time you open a tab on your computer, you see this to-do list in the bottom right corner over here. And it has the links to get to those places quickly. So I definitely recommend that. This is what it looks like when you go to Momentum. This is kind of the page that you'll find. So then you just add it to Chrome. So another thing you can do is eliminate everything you don't need to do using the 80-20 rule. So this is another thing you might read in the 4-Hour Work Week, and it's called the 80-20 rule, or the 80-20 principle, or the Pareto principle, which basically states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. So if you go on Wikipedia, you can look this stuff up and read more about it. It was developed by an and it was named after Vilfredo Pareto, who is an Italian economist. But it basically states, like I said, 80% of your results come from 20% of actions. So if you look at that and put it in perspective, for instance, Tim Ferriss in the 4-Hour Work Week used it to make his supplement business really take off by realizing that 20% of his customers were making him 80% of his money. So he eliminated the other customers that were causing him a bunch of headaches and problems and focused on the 20% that got him most of his money, and then tried to find more customers like that 20%. Doing that made him a much richer, more productive person and happier because he was dealing with less annoying customers. So you can read about the Pareto principle on Wikipedia. Also, if you want to just be happier and get more done like this, as far as maybe keeping track of what you've done and organizing your day and things like that, I recommend the 5-minute journal. And that goes into the next point, which is you want to use something to organize and plan the night before. So not only do you want, let me go over this chart real quick though. You also want to use this to prioritize and come up with the things to get rid of. So when I was talking about the Pareto principle, when you're presented an activity, this chart from the newlyrich.com, which is no longer in existence, so I don't know who to really credit for this, but when you're presented with an activity, you should ask yourself 3 questions, and then you can decide whether to eliminate it. Will you enjoy it? If so, do it. If not, does it generate income? If not, do you have an obligation to do it? Is it something you really need to do for your family, for your morals, or whatever? If the answer is no to all 3 of those questions, eliminate it from your life completely. So that will help you kind of get a perspective of how to make decisions on what to eliminate from your life. But back to the other point, organize and plan the night before. So you could do that with the Todoist app. Of course, you can plan and do this the night before. Another thing I recommend is you put your laptop, you put your business stuff, you put your food, you put your exercise equipment, you put all your stuff up the night before so it's organized and you know where it'll be the next day, so you can get started right away instead of looking for it and trying to shuffle through papers and stuff. You want to be organized and ready for the next day so you can get off to a quick start. So you can use this app to do that. You can do that with your actual desk and everything. Another thing is the 5-minute journal that I showed you earlier. The 5-minute journal is something that kind of allows you to plan your day, to put life in perspective. It was actually inspired by the 4-hour work week, but it's not the same people. And it allows you to kind of reflect on your day, to think about what you could have done better and how you can make the next day better. So I recommend the 5-minute journal. It can really put things in perspective for you. I've used forms of this journal before, and it talks about affirmations, feeling grateful, goals, quotes that you can go by, how to improve the next day, things like that, to kind of organize yourself before the next day. And another thing you can do is have some accountability in place. So accountability is extremely helpful in pressuring yourself, almost using peer pressure to make you do the right things. So we all know about negative peer pressure from school and things like that, but there's actually positive peer pressure, and you can use that on yourself through accountability. A example of this is Stick, or Stick K. I'm not even really sure how to say this, but what they do is they allow you to set your goal, whether it's to lose weight, to make a certain amount of money, to stop doing bad things at work, whatever it is. Set your goal, you set the stakes, you get a referee. You can also add friends for support, but it allows you to set your goals, and if you don't reach those goals, there's actually a consequence, and that money that you put in there will be invested in some place that you did not want the money invested in. So it might be a charity that you don't like or something like that. And so it has a negative consequence, and it's money related. And you can also tell your friends about it. So your friends will be bugging you about it too if you don't accomplish this goal. So it really holds you accountable. Another example of holding yourself accountable would be, say, dietbet.com. So if you're trying to lose weight, what do? You motivate yourself by competing against somebody else. So you bet money, and you can compete against friends, you can compete against other community members on the site, and whoever loses the most money or loses the most weight wins the money in the pool. So you can make a bunch of money. It adds an extra incentive to losing weight. Another example, a monthly goals report. This is somebody named Stephen James that does this. He has projectlifemastery.com. He's also on YouTube. But instead of just relying on sheer willpower, he actually publishes monthly goals reports so that it holds him accountable and makes him have to achieve the goals he wants to achieve. And he lists his progress there on his blog for everyone to see. Smart Passive Income. This is a podcast owned by Pat Flynn. And what Pat Flynn does is he publishes his goals, or not his goals, but his actual business earnings. He publishes his earnings in his on his blog, and it gives you an idea. It shows you that he's transparent. It shows you how much money he's actually making, so that you can choose to believe what he teaches you or not. And it just shows you that it can make you really motivated, because you want to keep that line going upwards in an upward trend. You don't want to lose money and lose the trust of your subscribers and your website visitors. So, and another thing I've seen people do, I could not find the specific YouTube channel that I saw this on, but it was something like, I think it was a something kind of like a personal development or entertainment or something, some kind of video channel on YouTube. But their cover photo here said publishing videos 5 days a week at 4 p.m. Eastern time or something like that. And it was a great example of how you can tell people that you're going to do something, and to make sure that your word is worth something, you have to live up to what you tell people you're going to do. And this helps you get more done and stick to your goals and be more efficient with your time. Also, another thing you can do, use Google Calendar or text your friends or something and schedule something fun to do in the evening or the afternoon. That way it forces you to go into that kind of adrenaline mode that it's really hard to just trigger on your own. But when you're about to hit a deadline, we have all this blood pumped through our brain, and we go into overdrive and we get super productive. It's a funny feeling. I know you know what I'm talking about, but it's when you get kind of in a zone and you know you have to finish something or there's going to be big consequences, and you can use that by just scheduling something with your friends or your family right after work, and then that will basically make sure that you get your work done in less time. So that's another great strategy. And last but not least, you can create and use templates. So if you're doing something repetitive like sending emails, like writing blog posts, like doing videos, or whatever it is, making recipes, that's why we have cookbooks, things like that, you need templates. So for instance, if you're writing a blog post, let me go back to that page here where I had a blog post I was using as an example, where you could schedule things. Well, you can also use templates and load a template in here. So I have a plugin here called Video Post or Simple Content Template. So instead of actually just relying on your memory all the time and stressing yourself out trying to get the post exactly like the other ones every time, I decided to create a template so that I could make these blog posts much faster and be able to get more helpful information to you out by speeding up the process. So it makes me work more efficient. So this is just a free plugin. If you have a WordPress blog, I definitely recommend it. It's called Simple Content Templates. It's very basic. There's not a lot of bells and whistles with this. If you get the paid version, you get more bells and whistles and customization, but really the free version works for me. You can get Simple Content Templates, get the plugin, and it allows you to create a template and publish it and get your blog posts done faster if you do blog posts. Another example would be, say, when you do like Google Slides or Google Docs or Google Excel, you can come up with templates that have been created by actual Google workers or by other people that have worked with Google products. So just for instance, if you go to the template gallery for Google presentations, you have all these different templates that you can use, and you can save your own templates for presentations. You can save background images. You can save templates for spreadsheets, templates for Word documents, blog posts, anything really, and it will make your life so much more efficient if you just use templates on things that you do all the time over and over. So that's it. If you got something from this video, if you feel like you learned something that will help you manage your time better, please like and subscribe so I can create more videos like this for you. If there are some tactics or some tools that you recommend that I didn't mention, or you want to just let me know what you thought about the video, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to get your feedback to help let me know how I did or if I can improve this video. I'm always looking to improve them for you. And all of the resources, tools, software, tips, related content, and video notes that I mentioned in this video will be on one page for you at selfmadesuccess.com for your convenience. You can find that on my website under the name of the video, or look in the video description and you'll see a link in the first couple of sentences. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you have a great day.